What if I told you there is a plant that could scream you to death? A plant tied to the spirits of the dead, powerful enough to reveal hidden secrets. What if this plant could grant wishes, but at a price too dark for most to bear? Can you guess which plant is known to steal a soul as easily as it grants power? Today we'll explore its deep roots in Dutch and European history, from ancient rituals to supernatural legends. Stick around and you'll learn why the mandrake has captivated minds for centuries and still does today. Welcome to the mysterious world of the mandrake, or in Dutch folklore, the alruinwortel. The mandrake might sound like something straight out of Harry Potter, but its history is much older. This seemingly unremarkable plant, with dark green leaves and small yellow berries, hides a secret under the soil, a twisted human-shaped root that has sparked fear and fascination for centuries. In the Netherlands, like much of Europe, the mandrake was believed to grow under gallows, where the last breath of the hanged man seeped into the earth, burying the root with a terrifying scream. Ancient Germanic rituals included the plant in rites of divination, invoking its connection to both life and death. The mandrake grows where the dead rest, but what part of them still lingers? The alruin, also known as mensenplant in Dutch, is tied to powerful myths. This plant was not just used in magic, but was said to be alive, almost human. Legends claim it would scream when pulled from the ground, a scream so deadly that anyone who heard it would perish on the spot. For protection, Dutch folklore recommended using a black dog to dig it up, but even then, the dog would die from the sound. In return for these dangerous efforts, the mandrake could offer immense power, health, and even wealth. Dutch folk traditions say the mandrake could bring luck to its owner or curse their enemies. It was believed that when properly harvested, the mandrake would serve the one who freed it, bringing them protection, revealing hidden treasures, or helping with powerful love potions. Throughout Dutch history, the mandrake appears in stories of witches and alchemists. It was believed that the witches, or heksen as we call it in Dutch, would use the mandrake in their rituals, mixing its roots in potions or keeping it as a talisman for casting spells. One famous story involves a Dutch healer from the 17th century who supposedly used the mandrake to find hidden gold. After weeks of strange occurrences in his village, he vanished, leaving behind only his mandrake and a warning: never trust something that grows under a hanging man's shadow. Dutch seafarers also took mandrake roots with them, believing they would protect them against shipwrecks and storms. In the 1600s, a Dutch ship's log recounts the discovery of a small alruin root found in the captain's quarters. Some say it was responsible for both the ship's safe journey and the strange deaths of its enemies. En now on to this next story. De schreeuw van de alruin, the cry of the mandrake. In a quiet Dutch village, Roel, a botanist, is obsessed with uncovering the truth behind the ancient legend of the alruin, a plant said to grow at execution sites. His life revolves around studying rare plants, but he is about to embark on a journey that will change him forever. Roel stumbles upon an old map showing a long forgotten gallows deep in the forest where the alruin supposedly grows. Intrigued and eager to validate the myth, he decides to seek out the deadly plant. His grandmother, a keeper of village lore, warns him. The alruin screams when it's pulled from the earth. Its cry brings more than just deafness, it brings death. Roel, though shaken, dismisses her words, determined to push forward. Roel visits Nelleke, an old herbalist who confirms the legend and offers him a black dog and a rope essential for the alruin ritual. Remember, she tells him gravely, Cover your ears when the dog pulls the root, but be warned, surviving the scream might not be the worst part. With the dog at his side, Roel ventures deep into the cursed forest. The air thickens as he nears the site, and an eerie silence envelops him. He crosses an invisible line, leaving behind the safety of the known world and stepping into a realm where the legends come alive. Standing before the ancient gallows, Roel digs around the all-round pond, tying the rope to the dog's tail. His heart races, knowing there is no turning back. He watches as the dog begins to pull, the ground trembling as the plant resists. As the dog pulls harder, Roel covers his ears, bracing for the scream. The Alrijn lets out a deafening wail that shakes the earth, but Roel is safe. For now. His ally the dog whimpers and runs, leaving Roel alone in the cursed forest. The silence that follows is suffocating. In the distance, Roel hears a voice calling his name, sweet and familiar. It's his late mother's voice. She beckons him deeper into the woods, promising answers to all his questions, tempting him to follow her into the dark. Roel resists the urge to follow the voice, remembering his grandmother's warning. His father's voice echoes in his mind, urging him to be strong, to face the unknown, and not to succumb to the false promises of the dead. Roel retraces the Alrenroute, its eerie form pulsating with a strange energy. As he turns to leave, he senses something watching him from the shadows. The atmosphere grows colder, and the forest seems to close in around him. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gives way, and Roel tumbles into a hidden cavern beneath the execution site. The walls are lined with ancient bones, and whispers fill the air, the voices of those who died on the gallows. The all-round scream still echoes in his mind, gnawing at his sanity. Despite the terror around him, Roel clutches the all-round root tightly. He believes he has the powerful plant in his hand. But as he rises from the cavern, something feels wrong. The shadows seem darker, and the forest feels alive, as if it's watching him, waiting for something. Roel stumbles back through the forest, the Alrijn in his pocket. But the sense of dread grows with every step. The silence is too heavy, too unnatural. He begins to hear footsteps behind him, though when he looks back, no one is there. As Roel reaches the edge of the forest, he feels a sudden chill. The world around him shifts, and he realizes he hasn't truly escaped. The all-round curse is upon him. The voices of the dead grow louder, their hands invisible but close, gnawing at his mind. Roel returns to the village, but he is no longer the same. The all-round root is still in his possession, but its power is more sinister than he imagined. The villagers sense something is wrong. Something dark has followed him back. He tries to destroy the root, but it won't burn, won't break. It's bound to him. Late at night, as Roel lies in bed, he hears the screams again. But this time, it's not from the Alrijn. It's coming from within the village. The villagers begin to disappear, one by one, their voices joining the chorus of the dead in Roel's mind. He stands at the window, looking into the night, knowing that soon someone else will seek the Alrijn. But this time they won't return. Could you be next? While belief in the supernatural properties of the mandrake has faded, fascination with the plant endures, especially among modern-day herbalists and those interested in folk magic. In the Netherlands, there is still a quiet reverence for the Alrijn. It appears in museums, art and historical texts, reflecting its enduring legacy in Dutch folklore. Modern witches and pagan practitioners sometimes cultivate mandrakes for ceremonial purposes. though it's more symbolic now than it was centuries ago. And even if you don't believe in magic, the eerie beauty and historical richness of the mandrake make it a captivating symbol. It's a reminder of how intertwined nature, myth, and the human imagination have been throughout history. If you've ever been fascinated by plants with mystical pasts, then let us know in the comments which folklore tales you would like to hear next. What plant based mysteries or magical roots should we uncover next? Could you pull the mandrake from the ground, or would its scream leave you frozen in fear? Have you ever felt lost in a sea of chaos, unsure how to bring people together or overcome conflict? Perhaps you've struggled to find a sense of unity or purpose, whether in your family, workplace, or community. The story of the spirit of the Manifold offers a powerful lesson in the strength of unity and the importance of justice and hope. By watching the previous video, you'll discover how an ancient Frisian tale provides timeless guidance for resolving discord, embracing leadership, and forging a path forward, even in the most turbulent of times. Learn how the spiritual wisdom can inspire you to overcome challenges and build lasting harmony. Watch now to uncover the secrets of the Manifold.